Andrew, thank you very much for inviting me as the chairman of the British Romanian Chamber to come and talk to you today about preparations and current negotiations with the Romanian government.
Great pleasure, Neil, as ever, to have you in the embassy.
Thank you very much indeed. We've had a great deal of members asking what is happening. Can you please give us an update upon what is happening with your discussions with the Romanian government?
Yeah, very happy to do so. And there are probably a few people out there who would have liked to have this information much earlier. All I can do is apologise that it hasn't been in a form that could be spread out to everybody, but we are now in that position. In a nutshell, the British government a year and a half ago said that it wanted to create circumstances in which the EU citizens living in the UK would be able to continue with their lives there as important members of our political and social and economic communities, continuing with the enjoyment of their EU rights. The British government has made a very detailed proposal which delivers precisely that, and that is now in the testing phase and will go live fully on the 30th of March. We have been talking to the Romanian government for several months about what the comparable position would be for UK citizens in Romania. And I'm delighted to say that there is an absolute consensus within the Romanian government that Romania wishes to reciprocate the measures that the UK has agreed.
So what does reciprocity look like in practice?
Well, that's where we are at the moment. We are in detailed talks with the Foreign Ministry in particular to set up how reciprocity will operate for UK citizens. But I just want to emphasise that the principle that has been agreed in all parts of the government, the President, the Prime Minister, the Interior Minister, the Foreign Minister, the Europe Minister, the President of the Senate, and everybody else that we've been talking to about it, are all agreed that reciprocity is what they want to deliver. So it might help if I actually say what the British system will deliver for Romanians and others in the UK, and then you'll see what we're now seeing how we get delivered for Brits in Romania. Fundamentally, the British system, which is called settled status or pre-settled status, depending on how long EU citizens have been in the UK, enables them to stay there as they would have been able to as an EU citizen, and it will give them the ability to have the same rights to education, health, social security, as if we had stayed in the EU. And that's what we're looking to get in the detailed negotiation with the Romanian side. So tonight we'll be having a session looking at the detail of that. We've got a further session planned for the start of next week. And I hope that we will be in a position to give clarity very quickly, together with our Romanian government colleagues, on exactly what reciprocity will look like in a Romanian sense. It can't be exactly the same as in the UK. It's a different legal base. There are different traditions. There are individual components which a member state can decide for itself. So it won't be a mirror image, but what we're looking for is that the substance will be a mirror image, and that means that British citizens who are in Romania can continue to live their lives as if the UK had stayed in the EU, with the same entitlements.
That is excellent news, thank you. One specific question I've been asked is about driving in Romania, if you hold a British driving licence.
Yeah.
Have you any news upon that particular issue, please?
I'm glad you're being asked that question. We are being asked that question probably more than any other individual question. The good news is that the Romanian government has decided that British driving licences will continue to be valid.
Good. Excellent.
Shall I say that again?
Yes, please do.
It means that British citizens in Romania will be able to continue to use their British driving licences, and I know that will be a matter of great relief to many people.
I'm sure you're right on that. Are there any other practical measures you think that the British community can look at taking now?
More than practical measures, I think there might be some sort of psychological preparation that people might need to undertake. One of those is that they are going to have to go through processes. With the 2,500 Brits living in Romania, some of them haven't always done everything by the book. Whether it's not registering their imported vehicles, or sometimes not even registering. I think that's going to be a thing of the past. Here we are, we're moving into a new situation with the UK outside the EU, but EU rights being maintained. That's going to have to be done in a way that you can either demonstrate the paper or you can prove to the authorities that you've gone through that process. So I think that's an important thing. Having a passport with six months validity is going to be important. We've extended some of our family passports very recently. I have to say, we got an excellent service from the passport office in Durham. You can apply through gov.uk, or if you're in the UK, or on paper from overseas. It can work very well indeed. So I think that's probably the main thing that I would encourage people to do, as well as keep in touch with us, either through Facebook or through our Twitter feed. Gov.uk has a page called Living in Romania. I think it's well worth reading what they've got to say, and signing up for the alerts. So when something changes, the Living in Romania pages will be updated, and that ought to be the best way of keeping in touch with all the changes that happen. But obviously, as soon as we get a real practical outcome in how reciprocity is going to be delivered, we'll let you know first of all. We'll let BRCC members, I'm sure, will hear very quickly. But we will also, in exactly the same timescale, put something out on this channel as well.
Right, we're sitting in Bucharest, but our co-nationals are all over the country.
Yeah.
Are you planning to take any steps to spread the news in Cluj-Napoca and in other parts of Romania?
Yeah, I mean that is the plan. There are obvious timetabling difficulties because we actually need to have something to say before having those outreach activities. But it is our intention to have those as quickly as we possibly can. I can't promise dates now, but we will do them as early in March as we possibly can. Our present thinking is that we will go to Iași, Cluj, Timișoara, Brașov and Bucharest, hoping that gives reasonable regional coverage for everybody. People will have to travel if they want to come to it. We accept that, but I hope those 5 opportunities will make it a reasonable basis. It won't only be to spread the news. I mean, it's fundamentally to be able to listen to things that aren't provided for, areas where we will need to continue our discussions with the Romanian government. And of course, depending on how the politics work out, we may be about to enter into a phase of negotiation with the EU over a future relationship. I mean, the deal, the Prime Minister's deal, which he is still confident to be able to get through the House of Commons on Tuesday of next week, has a withdrawal agreement, which is a legally binding agreement negotiated with the EU and the UK. But there's also the political declaration on the future relationship. And that covers everything in the future relationship, from property rights to enhanced citizens' rights. And all of that's for negotiation. So I hope that in the outreach events that we'll be doing, we'll be getting British citizens' perspectives on what they might want to see coming through that negotiation, which we hope will start quickly after the withdrawal agreement has been approved on Tuesday.
That's very good news indeed. The Chamber will do what we can to support you in that and to get the news out to British people who are in Romania or who are visiting Romania, and to make sure that everyone has access to information as it develops and changes.
Very good.
Thank you very much indeed.